Hello and welcome to everybody watching. I'm joined today by just a few people who've been involved in the recent NHS Parliamentary Awards win for reaching the digitally excluded in their own homes through the provision of digital technology. It's been a fantastic collaborative effort for many different teams, and just one of those teams that have used it has been headed up by Sarah Watts. And Sarah, could I just quickly ask you, could you just share what this award win means to your teams and to those who use your services?
I think that the teams have been absolutely delighted to hear that we'd won. We were keeping them posted throughout the award day on social media and via messaging, and everybody's been really, really excited. They've worked so hard, both the clinical teams and the admin teams who've been involved in setting the project up have worked really hard to make this work and to engage patients in using it as well. And I think we've had such good feedback from our patients as well that I'm sure they'll also be delighted to hear that we've won the award as well when we managed to have those conversations with them. Our admin team have really kind of led on setting up the comp devices and setting out, processes of how to set them up, how to monitor the comps. And the clinicians have really embraced the new technology because it's enabled us to reach out to other groups of the community that maybe we wouldn't have done before. So particularly our older people who don't have access to devices, people who've moved into the area and maybe, through financial means are excluded digitally from accessing things. It's meant that we can offer that same level of care to them as we would to anybody else. So I think it's been a fantastic project. We've really enjoyed being a part of it, and it's great to see that all those efforts that everybody has made have been rewarded now.
Thanks, Sarah. The impact, the work to remove digital barriers have been really, really good from all the teams involved. And we used two devices, I believe, and you used one which is called Comp because it was most suited to those who use your services. Could you explain what that device is?
Yeah, it's really, really simple. It literally has one button on it. It couldn't be any more straightforward. So all of the setting up is obviously done at our end in terms of connecting people and making sure that the clinician and the patient have a secure connection. But the device is just taken out to the patient's home and they have a setup call. We make a test call back to the office so that they can check that they can work it. But all they have to do is press the button, switch the device on at their appointment time, and then the clinician will connect from their end. They can have the appointment. There are options to send documents back and forth as well. You can't screen share in the same way that you might do with some other devices, but you can send documents back and forth via the device as well, which is really helpful. And then at the end of the appointment, they just press the button and switch it off again. So it couldn't really be any more straightforward for them.
It does sound like a really easy to use device, which is fantastic, and clearly it's had really good benefits from people using them. Martyn, just coming to you, could you just share what you think we can learn within digital from this for future collaborative work?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It was a brilliant achievement to be recognised for our work that we've done on addressing digital exclusion, and something that we're really proud of with the MPFT digital teams. In particular, the way that we collaborated with service users and carers and our clinical and care staff as well on this scheme, because one of the main learning points for us was actually not waiting for perfection before we did something. So right after March 2020, we addressed the lockdown scenario and the pandemic by deploying rapidly a solution for virtual consultations. And what we'd actually done is excluded, large cohorts of our service users from accessing care by this rapid digitalisation, this unique event. So what we had to do was look into exactly what was available to us in terms of making sure that we could address that digital exclusion and ensure that some kind of safe remote care was still available. So I think what I'm proudest of is actually just, whilst there wasn't a perfect solution that seamlessly integrated with our clinical systems and tied everything together neatly, we had to find a solution. And we really did find a perfect platform to trial and prove the benefits and ensure that people weren't digitally excluded whilst waiting for the perfect solution to arise.
Thanks, Martyn. And Trish, if I can come to you, are there other teams in the organisation that can benefit from the outcomes of this work?
Following the successful win of the NHS Parliamentary Award, it's actually lovely to see that a number of services have now contacted me to inquire about their teams using the comp devices. So we've had the DMT Shropshire Mental Health Service, the 0 to 19 Families Health and Wellbeing Service, and the adult community learning disabilities team all showing interest. So we're going to continue to roll it out with these teams over the next few weeks.
It's great that the award winners already had people come forward to say that they can see a place for this technology in their own teams. That's absolutely brilliant. And have you got any other teams in mind within the trust that you think could also benefit from this technology who are yet to get in touch with you?
So I'm going to also be contacting a number of teams which we think that the COMP device could be useful to. So this includes the community complex care team, the mental health community services teams, the stroke team, the adult ability team, and occupational therapy. But really any service that falls into the category of old age, learning disabilities, pre-dementia or mental health, this technology could be really useful to. And if there's any teams out there that want to know more about COMP, they can visit the digital toolkits and have a look on the intranet and find information about COMP, or they can drop me an email or give me a call. So it's trish.nolan@mpft.nhs.uk, and I've currently got 50 devices still available for distribution. So if anyone's interested, please give me a call.
Thanks, Trish. That's a really broad scope of potential users, and I'd encourage anyone who thinks there may be a place for this in their team to reach out to Trish. Steve, from your perspective, what do you think we need to be considering, particularly when we are looking at rolling out projects and initiatives like this?
Firstly, we need to be confident with the technology that as staff we're deploying through the upskilling of the workforce. And I guess secondly, we need to ensure we do this in partnership with our service users and carers, ensuring that our service users have choice in the services we offer, but also that it meets the individuals and the community's needs. I suppose the other thing is that, not one size fits all, and digital doesn't, fit everyone's needs. So it's how do we be adaptive and not just go down one pathway, but offer multiple pathways. And I suppose that goes back to choice.
I completely agree, and you make a very good point that one size doesn't fit all, and we need to provide choice to those who use our services. And Martyn, if I can come back to you, Steve has highlighted a few key themes of the NPFT digital strategy. How important is digital inclusion to the success of our digital strategy?
Really, when you think of things from a purely technical lens, you look at connectivity and performance, you look at estates and digital, and you look at remote and agile working, and it's really tempting to just focus on those key foundational IT elements and try and address those, which we are doing, but we can't wait and postpone our digital inclusion agenda. So we're working really hard at making sure that we're doing that in parallel with all of our foundational IT elements, and having dedicated resource at looking at those areas, which is myself included. So one of the things that I'm personally doing is I'm a member of the Digital Poverty Alliance Community Board, and that's a great organisation. It works with partners such as the Good Things Foundation. So looking at that relationship and all of those networking opportunities to look at what those opportunities are for allocation of equipment, digital skills initiatives, access to broadband initiatives, and just really trying to make those become a practical reality across NPFT and our services. So when we identify service users and carers that would benefit from digital but maybe don't have the means or the skills, we can have a meaningful offer to support those access our care digitally if it would be a priority opportunity for them or a preference in terms of their treatment, but they don't have the choice to do that preference with their own circumstances at that moment in time. So that theme of digital inclusion and equalities, choice and access, really is something that we're majoring on and is a bedrock of everything we're doing on our strategy.
Thanks, Martyn, and thank you for everyone else who's joined us today. It's great to hear about this work and everything else we have planned for in the future.